The nichest long shots in NBA. After eliminating a sizable portion of the crowd, we focused heavily on two factors: the number of shots players take and their responsibilities on the court, which ESPN's John Hollinger egregiously neglected in his ranking of the top shooters of all time. For instance, Hollinger simply adds up players' percentages of field goals made, three-pointers made, and free throws, and labels the CSR result, combined shooting rating. According to Hollinger, Steve Nash is the best shooter in history because he has the highest CSR ever. Nash is a fantastic shooter, but he is not a scoring guard who carries the team's load and is expected to fire as frequently as possible. With 20 shot attempts a game, the majority of which are made off the dribble or with double teams all over him, he is not Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. On the other hand, Nash is like Stockton or any other outstanding pass-first point in that he will shoot when the opportunity arises. His shooting percentages would drop significantly if he weren't given that luxury and was instead pushed to go out and score as many points as he could. Remember that a shooter who attempts 20 shots each game and converts on 45% of them is better than one who attempts 10 shots per game and converts on 50%. You may call it the law of diminishing returns, but as I prefer to think of it, a better goal scorer takes and makes more difficult shots while typically under more pressure. We are here with you today complying with the 8 nichest long shots in NBA. Watch the video till the end. At number 8, we have Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller is the most magnificent shooter on a basketball court. It's a long way off. Miller played for the Indiana Pacers for 18 years. The Pacers had only 4 losing seasons and 15 playoff appearances over that time, including 6 trips to the Eastern Conference Finals, barely. All with leap shooter Miller serving as the team's star. Not as impressive on all fronts as Michael Jordan, not a power forward with a lot of force like Karl Malone. Miller ran and avoided screens for more than 34 minutes of every game for 18 years, playing an average of 77.2 games per season, until he just about managed to free himself up in time to grab a pass that every defender saw coming and was trying to intercept. Miller would then turn his body, rise, and fling the ball at the hoop in one split second, barely edging the outstretched arm and hand that were advancing to impede his effort. This happened with a defender trailing by a nanosecond. Number 7 is Chris Mullin. It didn't matter that he couldn't jump or was slow. It also didn't matter that he never worked to get stronger or lifted weights. Even the fact that he was an alcoholic was irrelevant. Chris Mullin excelled right away. When Mullin was a young working-class Irish boy from Brooklyn growing up in the turbulent late 1970s, he frequently traveled to poor minority communities to pursue the best games. Mullin often had to leave the park quickly after destroying the opposition because the natives didn't appreciate when an outsider, especially a white boy, challenged them on their territory. The only thing that mattered to Mullin was playing basketball, hence it shouldn't be surprising that the 6'7" lefty was successful everywhere he went, despite his limitations and emotional issues. At number 6, we have LeBron James. LeBron Raymond James Sr., an American professional basketball player known as King James, and is sometimes compared to Michael Jordan in discussions about the greatest basketball player ever. James is regarded as one of the all-time greats in the sport. He has participated in 10 NBA Finals and won 4 NBA championships, 2 with the Miami Heat, 1 with the Los Angeles Lakers, and 1 with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He has 2 Olympic gold medals, 4 MVP trophies, and 4 Finals MVP awards. In February of the 2012-13 season, James set numerous records for shooting efficiency while averaging 29.7 points and 7.8 assists per game. In that same month, the Heat also started their 3rd longest winning streak in NBA history, a 27-game run. Sports Illustrated hailed James' performance as a month for the ages due to his successes. Number 5 is Ray Allen. Although it is controversial whether Ray Allen should be higher or lower on this list, one thing is sure: Allen is the finest NBA shooter of the last 10 years. Only Steve Nash and Peja Stojakovic had absurd percentages like Allen's 45-40-90. Naturally, Allen's nearly 2,500 more field goals, 1,100 more three-point, and 500 more free throw attempts than the next player made a difference. Allen is 4th in free throw percentage percentage and second all-time in both attempted and made three-pointers. The former UConn player, who stands 6'5" and has exceptional athleticism, would have been a top shooter in any period, but he isn't higher for various reasons. He spent most of his career playing during what might be regarded as the NBA's worst stretch, from 1999 to 2007. On number 4, we have Vince Carter. American retired professional basketball player Vincent Lamar Carter Jr., born January 26, 1977, works as an ESPN basketball analyst. From his debut in 1999 to his retirement in 2020, he is the first player in NBA history to have played as many as 22 seasons in 4 distinct decades. For the United States men's basketball team that won the nation's 12th men's basketball Olympic gold medal by defeating France in 2000, he was the team's leading scorer. Early in his career, Carter was recognized for his circus dunks, but with the Mavericks, he rose to prominence for his three-point shooting. Carter scored 26 points on February 13, 2013, in a 123-100 victory. Number 3 is Rick Barry. Barry was a pure physical shooter who required careful defense from his teammates, and when they did for more than 25 years, he was the finest in the game as he drove to the basket, drew contact, and made free throws. Barry, known for shooting the ball underhanded from the line, finished in the top 3 in terms of free throw percentage in his 14 seasons of professional basketball. 6 times he was the category leader in the NBA. He is the all-time leader in the ABA. On number 2, we have George Gervin. To be referred to as the Iceman, you must be a remarkably calm hitman. A quiet, modest, and silky smooth scorer who could swish a jumper from 20 feet away one play and then lay a finger roll over your center the next. George Gervin was precisely that. Gervin could make a move or two, lift himself, and contort his body midair to get a shot off that would go in 50% of the time, regardless of where on the court he was or who was guarding him. Gervin could dunk over opponents, sprinting one-handers from 14 feet away and spot-up jumpers from a distance. Gervin, currently ranked 13th all-time in points, 4 times led the NBA in scoring over 5 years in the late 1970s. Last but not least, at number 1, we have Baron Davis. Baron Davis, who played for the Charlotte Hornets in 2001, hit the longest shot, measuring 89 feet. About 0.7 seconds before the conclusion of the third quarter in the game against the Milwaukee Bucks, Baron Davis tried this famous long-range shot while being heavily guarded. Retired professional basketball player Baron Walter Lewis Davis was born on April 13, 1979. He currently works as a studio commentator for the NBA on TNT. He made the All-NBA third team in 2004 and twice led the NBA in steals. He was a 2-time NBA All-Star. The Charlotte Hornets selected him with the 3rd overall pick in the 1999 NBA Draft. He also participated in NBA games with the Cleveland Cavaliers, New York Knicks, Los Angeles Clippers, Golden State Warriors, and New Orleans Hornets. Before turning pro following his sophomore year, Davis played college basketball for the UCLA Bruins, garnering All-American accolades. While attending Crossroads School, he was a standout high school athlete. Davis averaged 2.28 steals per game across 50 games, the NBA's career playoff record. Big men can shoot too, but I wanted to concentrate on players who could shoot consistently from all around the court at a volume that was above average. Some players were passed over because playing too close to the basket was the reason for their high shooting percentages. Although almost all of them could make an easy 20-foot shot, they felt most at ease in the paint. Only those who watched these guys play could genuinely appreciate their greatness. Do you frequently hear Byron Scott's name mentioned when Showtime is mentioned? Several NBA players were terrific to watch briefly before dropping like flies for one reason or another. Subscribe to our channel Sportflix to learn more about these amazing players. Thanks for watching.